What did you do today? Think about it. Did you spend your day doing things that will matter in 5 years? Or did you spend your day doing things that only mattered in the moment? Scrolling through videos on social media all day might feel fun and relaxing, but is it really worth the consequences? Well, let's find out. Welcome to our channel, the place where future billionaires come to get inspired. The average person spends almost 3 hours a day on their phone. But what happens when someone gets hooked on these devices? The answer is simple. They become a slave to technology. Let's take a look at the 5 ways that mobile phones are destroying a generation. It destroys mental health. Look around you. Do you see people enjoying the view, or do you see them buried inside their smartphones? Some would say that it's easy to blame all the world's problems on smartphones. There's no denying that they have made our lives easier, but as wonderful as they are, there's a darker side. A new study shows that social media usage is strongly associated with depression, anxiety, and loneliness. Researchers from the University of Pennsylvania conducted a large study with over 1,700 teenagers. After several months, they concluded that spending too much time on social media can lead to feelings of loneliness and inadequacy. Why? Simply because teens started comparing themselves with others. There's no escape from it. Instagram models with their flawless bodies, YouTube influencers living the best life. We can't help but compare ourselves to them. And that's when the problem starts. Every time you go on social media, you're bombarded with images and messages telling you what you should be doing. You see these perfect people and you ask yourself why your life is so different. The constant comparison leads to envy and jealousy. And if left unchecked, it could even lead to depression. This is why more and more kids are suffering from anxiety and depression, even though they have everything they could possibly need. So remember, whenever you're feeling low, just delete the app. Yes, it's hard to imagine life without Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. But the truth is that these apps were never created to make your life better. Their main goal is simple: keeping you addicted. No. 2, it destroys education. We all love the internet. It gives us access to almost everything we want in a matter of seconds. But it also shortened our attention spans to match its own. The younger generation has a shorter attention span than the older generation. In fact, it's shorter than any other generation before us. If you were born after 1990, you have an attention span of only 8 minutes. That's right. Your ability to focus on one thing for longer periods of time is decreasing with each new generation. This is bad news for students. The digital age has led to a weaker memory, poor focus, and an inability to handle challenging material. No wonder grades have been dropping across the board. Now, don't get us wrong, the internet isn't entirely to blame. These issues are caused by multiple factors, such as a lack of sleep, bad diet, and a comfortable lifestyle. Still, the fact that a whole generation of students is struggling to pay attention in school is mind-blowing. Let's be honest, we've all been in that situation where the teacher is droning on and on. But instead of listening to them, we're busy checking our phones or doodling in our notebooks. When we were students, it was different. Back then, you actually had to sit through lectures and read books. You couldn't just search up the answer on Google like students do nowadays. These days, kids are too distracted to learn. They'd rather watch another TikTok video than learn about Pythagoras' theorem. And to be fair, who can blame them? These kids have grown up with smartphones in their hands. Learning doesn't come easily, and sitting still for 40 minutes straight is torture for them. No. 3, it destroys social skills. Have you ever seen a group of friends sitting together at a restaurant? Chances are they aren't talking to each other. Instead, they're scrolling through their phones while sitting next to each other. Communication is the key to survival. Without it, we wouldn't have developed as a species. However, communication skills are becoming rusty with each new generation. Kids would rather text each other than talk, and that's the beginning of the end. We're losing our social skills. Studies show that young people are worse at reading facial expressions and body language than previous generations. The ability to understand what others are thinking is vital to forming relationships. But many people don't possess this skill anymore. All they know is how to send a quick message on WhatsApp. According to a new survey, the average teenager spends 5 hours a day on social media. They prefer communicating through a screen instead of having face-to-face conversations. But it's not their fault. We're all guilty of being addicted to our phones. Face-to-face communication is becoming a thing of the past. Texts, calls, and video chats have replaced it. The worst part is that we've become less empathetic. A recent survey found that millennials are less empathetic than older generations. But that shouldn't come as a surprise. We've grown up watching everything through a screen. It's easy to forget that other people have feelings. When interacting with others, many people forget to look beyond their phone screen. Empathy is dying. Instead of trying to understand the other person, we start typing our response while they're still talking. One day, our lack of communication skills will destroy society. Number 4, it destroys physical health. Many people suffer from eye strain, headaches, and insomnia. But they don't realize that their phones are the cause of these issues. Let's take a closer look at some of the physical problems that are widespread among smartphone addicts. First, there's eye strain. Most people spend hours staring at their phone screens every day. You may not notice it, but that puts a lot of strain on your eyes. Experts recommend taking frequent breaks to prevent eye strain. Otherwise, you could go blind. Next, there's insomnia. It's well known that blue light can interfere with your sleep cycle. And guess what? Smartphone screens emit a lot of blue light. This is why you should avoid using your phone before bed. Instead, you can read a book or listen to some music. Then there's sleep deprivation. On average, teenagers need 8.5 hours of sleep per night, but most of them get less than that. Why? Because they spend all night scrolling through social media. And finally, there's lack of exercise. Since smartphones are so convenient, they encourage a sedentary lifestyle. People would rather walk on their treadmill than walk outside. Well, there's nothing wrong with using a treadmill. But the point is that a healthy lifestyle is crucial for surviving in the long run. And now, no. 5, it controls us through algorithms. There's a war going on, a war for your attention. All the big tech companies are fighting for a place in your mind. They're trying to find ways to keep you addicted to their products. And guess what? They're winning. Here's how they control us through algorithms. Most apps are free for everyone to use, but they require you to log in with your personal information. That's the first step. They now know your demographics, interests, and relationships. With this information, the algorithm can predict your behavior. For example, if you like watching cooking videos, the platform will show you more of them. It seems innocent, but that's exactly what they want you to think. Algorithms are used to keep you addicted to your phone. If you're on social media too much, you're more likely to develop social anxiety disorder. If you're playing games on your phone all the time, you're more likely to become a gamer. And if you're watching videos non-stop, you'll lose interest in the real world. They say that knowledge is power, but in this case, it's the opposite. Ignorance is bliss. You have to unplug from time to time, take a break, and clear your mind. Unfortunately, the younger generation has no idea how to do that. Now, here's our question for you. Are we raising the most advanced generation in history or the most addicted one? Let us know in the comments. Before you go, make sure to take a moment to appreciate the knowledge you've gained from watching this video. Remember, think before you scroll. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to watch the recommended video that you see on the screen right now. Thanks for watching.